Every year, there comes a time when every farmer looks to the clouds with hope. Water is the resource which brings life to the land and livelihood to the family.
What's your name?
Nanjappa.
Where does the water come from?
From the clouds.
Where do the clouds come from?
I don't know.
The rains were regular in the past, but not anymore. Why?
Our wells have become corrupt. That's why.
What can we do to make the land retain more water?
That's what we don't understand.
Wells are drying up. Can we do something about it?
We cannot.
Whereas life in rural India is already hard, it is made harder because water is becoming more and more scarce. This scarcity is man-made. We have denuded the wealth of our forests. So, instead of being conserved, water rushes down the slopes, carrying away topsoil with its nutrients. Although the rainfall may be the same this year as it was before, the bare earth no longer absorbs water, and our underground reserves of water are not replenished. For instance, many perennial rivers have now become seasonal. Wells are now being sunk in riverbeds in search of water.
All the water that we get on the globe is only through precipitation. And there are various uses for water, right from drinking, industrial use, agriculture, and whatnot. And under those circumstances, unless we match the total amount of precipitation to the total of needs, it will not be possible for us to have some priorities and the scientific use of the water.
For scientific water management, there is an imperative need to utilize the maximum rainfall. Geographically, all land below a ridge, from slope to valley or basin where water is harvested, forms a watershed. Since earliest times, the watershed has been the ecological, social and economic unit from which agrarian life has emanated. On the slopes, we need contour bunding to slow down the flow of water and to check soil runoff. At the same time, we plant trees on these slopes to conserve water and soil. The streams and nullas which flow down the slopes need to have a series of small check dams or bunds. This again slows down the flow of water and allows it to percolate underground. In this task, we can use locally available materials as far as possible. Moreover, this work would generate employment which is frequently guaranteed by the government. Downstream of the bunds, if the geological formation is suitable, we can make percolation tanks. Percolation tanks help to recharge wells. We can also have storage tanks. These tanks are lined with cost-effective materials to prevent seepage. From these storage tanks, water can be distributed in a regulated manner. Development is threatened because in increasing numbers, the urban rich are moving into the countryside and destroying the harmony of the ecosystem. When water and soil are not intelligently managed, the land deteriorates. People are compelled to bring forest land under cultivation. Soil erosion is one of the gravest man-made disasters facing India. It is estimated that 12,000 million tons of topsoil with its valuable nutrients is washed away every year. Even if we put a nominal price of 10 rupees per ton of topsoil, the annual loss is 12,000 crores of rupees. What is incalculable is the suffering this causes to the poor villagers. Soil erosion exposes the roots of trees and plants, and even more soil is washed away, and the result is that the earth is wounded, often mortally. Development of watersheds is the most economical and sustainable solution to revive the ecosystem, thereby fulfilling our basic needs of livelihood.
The watershed ultimately aim at conserving soil and moisture, and at the same time using land according to its capability with the total consent of the farmers. It will be possible for us to maximize the biomass production, both in non-arable and as well as arable lands. So under these circumstances, naturally, the productivity of the land and the biomass production of the total area will be maximum, and therefore the sustainability has to result.
This is not a dream. Sustainable agriculture and social equity is now a reality, at least in these few pockets of our country. If we are to raise standard of living, we cannot afford to waste labor of the poor and marginal farmer. If he has to live on the land and by the land, we must make water available to him on equitable, regular and assured basis. Sustainable livelihood depends crucially on a harmonious relationship between water, land and the people. Many years ago, Lokmanya Tilak said, "Swaraj is my birthright." Cannot a farmer today say, "Water is my birthright and I shall have it"?
Water is by far the commonest liquid on earth. Naturally, the shortage of water never arises in our mind. With the advent of the new millennium, water, the most essential component of civilization, might get scarce in many countries. We all know that 3/4 of the earth is water, but only less than 1% exists as fresh water, like streams, rivers, lakes, aquifers, and canals, and the rest consists of seawater which mankind cannot use. Owing to the population boom, freshwater demands will continuously be multiplied to cater to a better lifestyle in urban as well as rural areas. Currently, most of the countries around the world are facing water shortages. By 2025, more countries, including India, will be pushed into this dread list if we are not careful and conscious about it. The quantity of water available is not the same everywhere in the world because of irregular rainfall and climatic changes. There are several reasons for the water crisis. First is the inefficient way in which we use water. Second, irrigation without proper usage and control creates wastage on a prodigal scale. Much of the water trickles away or simply evaporates before it can do any good. Third, we do not save our freshwater stock properly. Forests are important water regulators. Their soil structure acts as nature's sponge, soaking up water and releasing it slowly throughout the year. They contribute to reliable river flow, replenish groundwater supplies, reduce soil erosion, and release moisture into the atmosphere. Since deforestation is on the rise, the sediment washed from the hills clogs waterways, lifts the riverbed, leading to continuous soil erosion and floods. Coastal water pollution in the world's oceans result from contaminants carried there by fresh water. Industrial and municipal pollution continue to pose a significant threat. The facilities to treat wastewater are not adequate in any city in India. Presently, a bare minimum of the wastewater generated is treated. The rest is discharged as it is into our water bodies. Polluted water is a natural gateway for waterborne diseases. Water-related diseases create human tragedy. killing millions of people each year. Human lives are being put at risk because of arsenic in the water supply. Conflicts can arise, especially where countries with rapidly growing population and limited arable land collide over access to shared freshwater resources. Right on top of the reasons behind the water supply crisis is the inability of governments in developing countries to regulate, manage, and invest in water. Otherwise, the world will increasingly witness the new phenomenon of water refugees. Millions of people will be forced to leave their homes in search of water, or because regional conflicts over water would turn violent as shortages grow. Rainwater has to be stored effectively to discharge it efficiently in times of need. Since water is most essential for sustaining life on Earth, water issues need delicate monitoring and careful handling. The basic nature of water resources development implies that although the government has to play a major role, it cannot or should not be handled exclusively by the government agencies alone. Common people should also be involved in this awareness program. Otherwise, we will be gasping and crying our throat hoarse within few days for water.